ANC is adamant that former President FW de Klerk should not be invited to Parliament again. It comes after the EFF called for his removal during last week's State of the Nation address, saying he's an apartheid apologist. In an interview, de Klerk denied that apartheid was a crime against humanity. Well, joining me now on the line is the leader of the UDM, Bantu Holomisa. General, thank you so much for speaking with us. First question, as a participant at CODESA, as the leader of a Bantustan, what do you make of the utterances from the former Deputy President?
Well, I'm not surprised, given that de Klerk has been denying everything which his government was doing. I was part of the negotiations when the black-on-black violence was taking place, being perpetrated by his forces, and using some communities to fight each other. And when he was confronted, even then, he said he didn't know anything. I'm also an affected person when it comes to the issues of violence. He is the one who was leading the government which authorized the abortive coup in Transkei, as well as assassination attempts to myself, by de Klerk and others. If you want more information, or if he wants more information, he should go to TRC and see the submissions by de Klerk and others who applied for amnesty in the operations which they planned to assassinate myself. But when I heard this latest, that he is now denying that he is denying himself that apartheid was an unacceptable policy, and he still says to Thabo Mbeki, "No, I was not aware." So that's de Klerk. That is de Klerk.
Interestingly, though, General, you've got the FW de Klerk Foundation responding to the EFF's attack, I suppose you could call it, on the former Vice President. They say in a statement, and I quote here, "By contrast, some 23,000 people died in South Africa's political violence between 1960 and 1994, of whom fewer than 5,000 were killed by the security forces. Most of the rest of the deaths occurred in the conflict between the IFP and the ANC." I mean, his foundation is backing up what he is saying and issuing statements of this nature. Why do you think this is happening now as well, General?
That foundation did the same thing when I said de Klerk authorized the operations in Transkei against liberation movement, and also against the attack on attempted coup, abortive coup, as well as the plans to assassinate myself. That foundation of his denied that. That's them. You are not going to win with that crowd.
So now the Red Berets, the EFF, they want a forensic inquest reopening to investigate state killings during de Klerk's presidency, with the aim of prosecuting him for apartheid murders. Would you support something like that as well? The EFF also states it will make a formal written submission to have de Klerk stripped of his Nobel Peace Prize. Would the UDM support these sort of initiatives?
We have not discussed that in the UDM, but the EFF has got liberty to do whatever they want to do about de Klerk. I tried myself, because I was an affected person. But when ANC came with this thing of amnesties and so on, well, I accepted that. So that's history to me. But if EFF wants to raise it and strip him of the Nobel Peace Prize, so be it. I care less, really.
What do you think such statements, do to South Africa in 2020 now? What does this evoke, firstly, on a personal level? And then, what do you think this does to the fabric of the nation?
The statement by EFF?
No, the statement by the former President, Deputy President FW de Klerk.
No, it's out of order. But as I say, he's always living in a state of denial. All the time. I don't know how many times Madiba would call him and say, but why are you allowing forces to arm a certain population to kill other blacks? He would say, I know nothing about that. Madiba was fed up at one stage with him.
Okay. Thank you so much there. That is the leader of the UDM, General Bantu Holomisa, giving us his opinion, saying that that is the FW de Klerk that he knows from the past. Thank you so much, General Holomisa.